Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the subscribe button because I'll be honored to have you here. Today we're gonna talk about a hand that happened on PokerStars in a scoop tournament. We are 81 hands into the tournament, and the blinds are 350 and 700 with ante 90. Our hero is on the big blind with pocket queens, and we've got a really nice stack of 180k, so almost 4 times the starting stack of 50k, and right now over 200 big blinds. We've got one more big stack on this table, villain number 6, and other than that we got some villains around 80k mark, and then mostly at the starting stack, and one slightly below half of the starting stack. Yeah, let's see what happens here. We've got under the gun +1 opening for a min raise. We've got another villain from the hijack calling, and the button decides to 3-bet, and the button decides to 3-bet on the bigger side. He puts it 4x to almost 6k. Let's see what the small blind does. The small blind folds, and we have an interesting situation here with pocket queens. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about those players. We've only played 2 hands with this button, and 10 hands with this villain, and 17 hands with this one. So we don't really know their play style. We don't know what kind of players these guys are. So we don't know if our 4-bet here should be on the big side, on the small side, or perhaps maybe we should just call here. So what options do we have? Well, mostly I would 4-bet here pocket queens, like probably over 80% of the time, especially playing versus random players. Maybe sometimes I would just call here to bring those players in, but pocket queens I think are not the best hand to just call here. I think pocket aces would be much better. With pocket queens, yeah, we're giving them a chance to hit an ace or a king on the flop, or a set. We're giving them great odds to hit a set. So for all those reasons, I would lean in towards 4-betting, and I guess a small 4-bet here would be ideal, because we would ideally want to have some bluffs here as well, so we don't want to make it too big. So I would probably like to see a 4-bet to maybe 15k, or maybe even 13k, 13 and a half, something like that, because this villain actually, the villain on the button, might often be just squeezing here. It's an early stage of the tournament, and players are just trying out the table, seeing what they can get away with. So a spot like that seems ideal for a squeeze. So yeah, for these reasons, I would mainly like to 4-bet here. But a call from time to time, I guess, is not the worst, but is probably not a good play. But the reason I picked this hand is because the hero actually does decide to call here. I think it's not the worst, but we often end up playing a 4-way pot here with pocket queens out of the big blind, and it is far from ideal. We'd much rather just 4-bet here and maybe push some of those players to shovel in, or just play heads up versus the button. most of the time. But let's see what happens here. So we just call. The initial raiser just calls as well. And this villain number 8 calls. So we have a 25k, so 25k pot, so half the starting stack. And we see a 9-6 deuce with two hearts. So a good board for our pocket queens. Pretty draw heavy. We've got 2 hearts and straight draws. So yeah, I think given that we've only called pre-flop, we should check here with the intention of check raising, because if we bet here, it just looks too strong, and worse hands probably are not calling us. We might get a hand like a nice draw to shove, but if we bet here, probably we're only getting called or shoved on by better hands, or by hands that have great equity versus us. So I'd like to see a check here, and our hero does check. The initial raiser checks as well, and actually this villain who just called the first bet and then the 3-bet bets 4,700, so less than a fifth of the pot. So that's interesting. The initial 3-better folds. And what do we do here with pocket queens? Well, obviously we cannot just call this. Like I said, we were checking with the intention of check raising, and given that this board is very draw heavy, we should check raise on the bigger size, and probably I'd like to see a raise to at least like 23k, maybe 25, 5-ish, so that we can just bet the remaining of each stack on the turn. But yeah, I think if we raise it to just 15k or 16, 17, something like that, this just gives both these players such great odds that, you know, all flush draws will be calling and will be getting a cheap price to hit the turn. So for these reasons, I think at least 20k we should bet here. Let's see what the hero does. And the hero actually decides to just 3 exit. I think this is not a good play. It's a mistake, because we're offering them just great odds, and we shouldn't be doing that. There's a lot of hands that hit really well on this flop, you know, hands like 7-8 suited, 3-4 suited, other stuff like that, ace highs, ace suited aces. So we should be extracting value from these hands. We shouldn't be giving them a cheap price. So yeah, I think this is a mistake, betting just raising to 12k here. But let's see what happens. Both villains actually fold, so turns out they didn't have much. But if they did have a flush or a straight draw, you know, it's an easy call here, and they can hit a good turn and basically outdraw us. So that's why we should be betting here much more. I think 20k would be the minimum. Yeah, so our hero wins nice 34k here, but yeah, the pre-flop cold call and small raise on the flop, I think these were not the best plays. These were mistakes, maybe not the worst mistakes, but yeah. That will be it for this hand. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a like below, leave a comment, tell me what you think about this hand, how would you have played it, And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Do you want to learn how to play PLO? Are you a beginner player who's never played Omaha before? Do you want to learn how to crush casual players easily? If so, this course is perfect for you. It's a crash course on Pot Limit Omaha dedicated for beginner players. You will learn all the fundamentals of PLO. You will learn what hands to play, when to play them, and how to play them. You will learn the basic strategies that allow you to be a winning player at your home games or microstakes online. If you want to learn PLO quickly and easily, get this course now at gokupoker.com.